All right, I am going to show you a couple ways to solve a little bit of higher level multiplication problems. So I have the problem here, 46 times 23, and we're going to solve this using the partial products method. And I have on the top partial sums and partial products. You can do the same thing with addition, subtraction, and division as well, but just for the purpose of today, we'll be doing partial sums. So most of us adults were taught how to do multiplication problems like this using the standard algorithm. And students these days, their goal is to be able to solve problems using the standard algorithm, but they're taught the multiplication in a much more broken down, deconstructed way. So part of that is breaking these numbers down into tens and ones and multiplying through that. So I have come up with this problem because it has a different number in each of the spots. And so instead of starting with the standard algorithm, we're going to start with the partial products. So we're going to pick different parts of this whole problem and then work it out that way. So I'm going to focus on the bottom numbers to start. And the bottom numbers are 23. So the 3 here is in the ones place, and then the 2 is in the tens place. And now an important thing to remember when you are doing multiplication problems like this is that what you do to one 10, you have to do to the other 10. And what you do to one 1, you have to do to the other 1. So every number has to have the same thing done to itself as was done to the other numbers. So let's start off by focusing on the tens. So we're going to start with the 2. So I'm going to do 20 because it's 2 tens. So 20 times 40 because I'm focusing just on the tens now. So 20 times 40. And then I'm going to focus on the 1 up here. So 20 times 6. Remember, I'm just breaking apart this problem so that I can solve it a little bit easier. So now this 2 is pretty much done. So we're going to move to the ones here. I'm going to start with the 3. So I'm going to do 3 times 40 and then 3 times 6. So what I've done to the tens and the ones on the bottom, I've done to the tens and the ones on top. So here we go. So let's now solve the multiplication problems on the side. So 20 times 40 is 800. And then 20 times 6 is 120. And then 3 times 40 is 120. And then 3 times 6 is 18. So now we've solved the partial products that are in here, and we just have to add up all of these numbers on the side, and then that will be our answer. So I'm going to go through. You can almost kind of do a little bit of a partial product addition here as well. So I'm going to do 120 plus 120. So I'm going to cross it out here. And then I'll add that to 800. It's 1040, and then I still need to add my 18. So here's the answer I got here, 1058. And now to check your work, let's do the standard algorithm. And this is a perfectly appropriate way to work through these problems with your student, is by doing one method of solving it one way and then checking with a different way. It's really important for them to know how to check their work. So let's go through the standard algorithm. And when you're working with your students on this, I want you to make sure you're emphasizing the importance of place value. So I'm going to draw out little lines just to keep things neat and organized. So the 6 and the 3 are in the ones place, and the 4 and the 2 are in the tens place. What you do to one thing, you have to do to everything else. So we're going to first focus on the bottom ones place. So 6 times 3 is 18. And then 4 times 3, so remember we're focusing on the ones place down here. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. And then we've already taken care of the ones place. So I'm putting an X down here, which also stands for 0 because there's nothing there. So now let's focus on this tens place over here, the 2. So 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And then we add these together. 8 plus 0 is 8, 3 plus 2 is 5, 9 plus 1 is 10. And thankfully we got the same answer. So I hope this helps you understand a different way to work on higher level multiplication problems with your student. And if you have any questions on this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you.